It's not really a trailer reaction, it's more of kind of my overall thoughts after getting that first look, what I think, and honestly whether I think it's just doomed to fail. Welcome back guys, GM Lay here, and today we're talking about Smile 2, kind of how I think it's going to go and how I think it's going to potentially play out, whether it'll be good. That's my main thing and the main crux of what I'm talking about. Because the thing is, after the Smile 2 trailer, despite really liking the concept of it, I'm not fully sold on this execution yet. Not really even the ideas, the execution. Because I actually think at the core of this, there's a really good idea there. The pop star angle to it, the way that this curse could potentially play out by the end of the movie. If she decides to, end her life, the way that the curse typically makes you do it in front of a whole audience of people. Would they all get the curse? What would happen? And that's kind of the things that my mind races to when I think about the potential for a sequel, and especially in the context of this concept for the sequel. And I do think that Parker Finn has won over some goodwill. He definitely deserves it after how well the first movie did and how honestly kind of really good that was. Just a very enjoyable, spooky movie, very rewatchable actually. I tend to throw that on randomly, but is he able to do it again? Can he have a repeat? Can he make it happen again? Those are questions that, I definitely am posing in my head and thinking about. For some reason, something about the trailer just didn't fully work for me. I'm not sure what it was. I think that some of the smile effects this time looked a bit more corny, a bit more forced. Some of the stuff, like the execution of the line, "Why are you smiling at me?" It just really didn't work for me. But I think that could easily change when we actually see the movie. Notoriously, that first Smile movie, a lot of people thought it was going to be a terrible film, and it ended up being a huge hit, very enjoyable. And I guess honestly, the first trailer actually did kind of look the same way. I think unfortunately, Kyle Gallner is just all but dead at the beginning of this movie. I think that's just a given at this point. I'm pretty sure he was the one in that trailer where you see the truck hit him and then you see the blood smear across, showing the smile. That'll probably be the opening credits scene, or what will reveal Smile 2. And I think that to a certain degree, there's a bit of a missed opportunity there. But the bigness of the concept of the sequel, I think at least justifies them kind of having to get him out of the way. I wish there was maybe a way that he passed it on while still being alive, so that maybe he could come back or be a returning character, someone that they could refer back to that did survive this curse. I mean, they even explained in that first movie that there is a way for you to pass on the curse if you just traumatize someone else and pass it on. There were some really good shots in this trailer. I'd say probably the best one was the hallway one. That was really the only one that elicited the same kind of creepy imagery that I think stuck out about that first movie. I also think that in the context of her being a pop star, it gives her so much more to lose. It puts her under a public eye that a lot of normal people aren't. So when she starts to have these mental issues due to the smile curse, once she starts to see these things, have these outbursts, mental trickery that just makes you act out, it's very interesting that, she's a pop star. She has to keep her cool. She has to not tarnish her image. And you can see that they're going for a bit of that when she signs the little girl's shirt. You can tell she's clearly creeped out, weirded out, trying to keep her head on straight while she's signing the shirt, despite the fact that on the inside she's terrified and knows that it's a demon. And then of course, like I said, she has that outburst where she's like, "Why are you smiling at me?" like at the person in the crowd. Although the line delivery for the trailer, I don't know if the final will be different. The line delivery maybe didn't work, but I think in concept it's very good. Just the fact that she's having these outbursts in front of people, she's looking crazy. It's probably something that will gradually happen throughout the movie. Her public image will start to get tarnished and she'll have to learn to try and keep it on the down low while trying to get rid of this curse at the same time and not ruin her career. It is good stuff at the core of it, and it's stuff that I think will ultimately draw me into this sequel. I'm not trying to sound negative or sound like I'm not, or at least not very interested. I'm definitely interested. Same director coming back, same creative team. That gives me faith that this could be easily on the same quality of the first one. But obviously we've seen a lot of sequels to successful horror movies end up going bad, end up not being as good as the first movie. And I think maybe I just need to watch this movie. I'm probably not going to watch the second trailer. Trailers for horror movies really do tend to just show way too much spoil everything, give everything away, and I'm just not for that. Usually the first trailer does a good job of at least just kind of giving you a tease, setting the tone without spoiling everything. The second trailer, I think, is what really spoils everything. I guess unless you're Blumhouse, like I've mentioned in previous videos, Jason Blum actively says that they spoil movies in the trailers because their analytics tell them that it gets more asses in seats when it comes opening night. Unfortunately, frustrating, ridiculous. I don't feel like they necessarily did that here, but you could still get a good idea of the direction of the story. You do know Kyle Gallner's fate, I think, basically, and I guess that's just not set in stone, but come on, I mean, the fact that the curse is passed over him alone kind of says it all. I really don't think he's surviving this movie, but that's fine. That's something that I could look past. It's just a bit of a waste of a very good horror character actor, I'd say he's kind of become, but this new character actually does look like she's very interesting. I think that they're gonna add a good amount of layers to her. What the first movie I think did really well was that idea of the mental stress and pressure getting added to a person, themes of mental illness and trauma. And when you have someone who's a pop star, which they're notoriously mentally not very well, I think that you could get an interesting concept out of this for sure. I do definitely see it. I definitely see the promise there. It's more of a concern on the execution, like I mentioned earlier. And that's something that could just be alleviated by watching the movie and seeing that it's actually great. But those are just my thoughts, my concerns about whether it's doomed to fail, whether it could potentially succeed. Overall, I'm teetering on the edge of saying, I think that it'll at least be good to mid. At the very least, that's where I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's not worse than that. I kind of have a hard time seeing it being as much of a hit, as a success as the first movie, but I'm very much rooting for it. I'm hoping it's great. I'm excited to see it and see if it lives up to my expectations. But those are just my thoughts. I'm GM Light. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'd love to hear. Have a good one.